Vincent Van Gogh, people told him, you can't be a great painter, you only have one ear. You know what he said? I can't hear you.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Phillies sports talk morning show with KJ and Dalt. Proudly powered by 302 Birds. Let's take it to the show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Sippin' Sports podcast. KJ and Dalt here on the mics on this heartbreaking Sunday. The Eagles losing two questionable opponents to lose to as well. And then you got the Phillies who let us down. But we got Romer already calling into the show. If you guys want to call in, that number is 302-316-4848. What's up, Rome?
What's up, fellas? How we doing this morning?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, man, I'm struggling, man. I was wishing that there's a Game 5 in CBT last night.
Yeah, it was tough. Yesterday was super tough. Just knowing that yesterday could have been Game 5, and then also kind of realizing too that they probably would have not had the game because it was pouring yesterday. So it kind of made it feel a little bit better, but then the rainy day also made it worse, and then made me feel like, you know what, this is what we did wrong. And I saw a clip too that I made about like a year ago of like all the mistakes that the Phillies made. I mean, against the Astros, against the Diamondbacks, against the Mets, and now against the Dodgers. And you just look back at it, and it's like all these 4 years of it, and it's just like they were just so close. And like if they just didn't make those mistakes, like history would have been changed. And it's just so many what ifs, and it's frustrating because, I mean, I don't know if it's going to keep on. I feel like it's going to keep on getting worse and worse, especially not having this core group of guys. I mean, you might not have Schwarber, you might not have Ranger. And I mean, losing those guys, it's going to be really, really tough for this team to really kind of get out of that shadow. So I think definitely there's going to be some moves made, but I mean, they need to. But I mean, unfortunately, though, one of those moves that needs to be made will not be made, and that's Rob Thompson. I mean, he needs to be fired. He needs to be held accountable because he has let us down. And I mean, trusting in Orion Kerkering in that kind of situation just made no sense at all. I mean, the man has a resume of screwing up leads and really just not doing good in the clutch. So why would Thompson ever trust in this kid like that and feed him to the wolves? And that's what he did. And the kid just kind of folded, unfortunately. And I mean, at the moment, was I really pissed at him? Yeah. I look back at it now and I'm like I blame 95% of it more on Thompson. So, I mean, I think he should be the guy held accountable. Will they fire him? I don't think so. They're going to probably keep on going with him, unfortunately.
What do you think about Schwarber, Rome? Do you think he's coming back?
You know what? I have mixed signals. One part of my mind tells me they're going to re-sign him just because he's been a machine all year. Now, I wonder if he's going to take like a little bit of a friendly deal. I don't really know what's going to happen. We don't know the whole behind the scenes. But then another part of my mind goes, you know what? Fortunately, that might be it, and he might have his mind set elsewhere, maybe like Cincinnati, how they were talking about like a month or two ago. So yeah. I personally don't know. We're going to find out a lot in the off season here, upcoming, and especially upcoming in December and January. Those are the months when a lot of those guys try to sign, they try to look around. If you remember a few years ago, we signed like a Turner and we signed like Taiwan Walker around that time. So I feel like you'll hear a lot more noise from December, January, but for right now, they're going to think it over for the next 2 months here.
Yeah, I think so too. What do you think, Mac?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough with Schwarber. I mean, they could probably pay him the money, but I do think that there are going to be some teams like the Yankees, heck, maybe even the Dodgers, and the Reds. I think those teams are really going to be knocking on the door for Kyle Schwarber. So I think definitely, I mean, Schwarber being from Cincinnati, him kind of getting the first, I think like one of the first pitches with his dad at one of the games that they had. So, and they gave him like the key to the city or something like that. So that was pretty crazy. So they're trying to like really like kiss up to him and trying to get him to kind of be like, hey, like come back home. Like it's a homecoming. Like, and he seems like he really he does want to stay with this crew. But I mean, he was like saying how this crew in general has become like brothers to him. And it really sucks too, because he was saying how like they were so close. Like they felt like this was a year that they would do it. And it should have been. It definitely should have been. And it really sucks because, I mean, the Dodgers literally did not play the best of series at all. I think the Dodgers, honestly, they dodged a bullet, no pun intended, or maybe a little bit. But they really did, because they played a horrible series. They really did. But we played even worse. And that's the problem. We beat ourselves in this series. And that's what really kills me. Because if we could have looked like how we did in game 3, or was it game 4 or game 3 I think it was game 3 where Schwarber went off. He hit that home, literally went on top of the I think it now has like a plaque there at Dodger Stadium that's like 430 feet or something like that, which is crazy. So, but yeah, they definitely like this just hurts, and like I just keep on like replaying the whole play and everything like that. But I mean, they're not going to have this core group of guys again, so they miss an opportunity for sure, and they might lose Bader too, which is crazy. So I mean, he was only a 1-year deal, so I think they had a time to strike, they didn't strike, and it's going to bite them in the butt. It's going to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, I agree, man. And just I gotta go here in like 30 seconds.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm sick, KJ, just like you said, and
Yeah,
always thanks for having me on. But
of course.
honestly, man, just like you said, Ohtani 1 for 18. Freddie Freeman didn't do anything. The only big hit was like a Teoscar Hernandez
Yeah, that's it.
that pretty much flipped the script in that series. Whoever won game 1 was gonna be the winner, and
Yeah,
they unfortunately had it. So it's just all sick all around, man. But thank you boys for having me. I'm going to go. But,
of course.
let's have a good week here.
Thank you for being here, Rome. Take care, bro.
You got it. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.
See you, Dome.
Rome calling into the show. But yeah, I mean, you guys can hear, and if you guys want to call in, that number is 302-316-4848. Feel free to call into the Sippin' Sports podcast and let us know. We got emotional therapy going on right now. We got on our birds gear. The birds are just let's go ahead and dive into that a little bit. I mean, we can kind of, do like a radio sports talk show where we bounce around. We don't have to have one set topic at a time, but
yeah, of course.
Going through it, aren't we?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it's been, as we were saying before, it's been one of the craziest Philly sports weeks in general. And on top of that, on the same night as the Phillies lose to be eliminated, the Eagles out of nowhere lose to the New York Giants. And usually you say that sentence when it's like week 17 and you got like Sam Howell at quarterback, or whoever. You got a backup quarterback in, and that's when you usually say that. But right now we play the Giants, not back to back, but we play them this week. Then we play the Vikings this upcoming weekend. And then we play the Giants back at home. So usually we don't play them both like in the middle of the season. So for us to lose like that and make Jackson Dart be the youngest quarterback to ever be a defending Super Bowl champion ever is sad. It really is sad. Can this team bounce back? Yeah, they definitely can. I mean, they've showed in the past that like they've had some hardship losses. They've had some losses where you're like, how the heck did that happen? Where they really beat themselves, and they were able to bounce back, but they got to make moves. I know there's been some rumors around about the Eagles making a move for a cornerback. I think you have to make a move. You have to, because we already saw what happens when Quinyon Mitchell goes down and how deflated that secondary can be. And Adoree Jackson and Kaylee Ringo have no idea what they are doing out there. Like, it's not like they were guarding elite receivers out there. Malik Neighbors is injured for the rest of the year, out for the rest of the season. He wasn't out there yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but he wasn't out there Thursday night. Darius Slayton wasn't out there. I think it was Jalen Hyatt was one of their leading receivers or whatever. That guy burned you. That guy beat you. And Jackson Dart beat you. And Cam Scattaboo, of all guys. That guy, I got to say, hats off to him. Like, seriously, like, I mean, the guy's a dog. I give him a lot of credit. And 3 touchdowns, he made our defense look like high school players out there. So it was definitely a really deflating night for sure. The good thing was for one of the first times, I actually wasn't able to really record like I usually do the clips like for my TikTok. I wasn't able to do it because I had a flag football game. So I was able to miss most of the game, but I listened to it on the radio, and just the way that Merrill Reese and Mike Quick sounded, they sounded deflated. The whole place, I mean, you could just like, I was in the city when this was all happening, and it just seemed like the whole city was deflated as well. So it definitely is a tough pill to swallow. And usually it's funny because you see the videos of all the Giants fans and they act like they won the Super Bowl. And I'm happy for them. Like, that's great and whatever. But like at the same time, though, I mean, like the Eagles should bounce back. And also, I mean, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent, but I kind of have to, I feel like, with this. Kevin Patullo should have never been considered for anything related to an offensive coordinator. And he got hired as the offensive coordinator. I mean, that's a problem. I mean, to do it in hire, how could you not learn from the last time when we brought up Brian Johnson? How could you not learn how that did not work out? So I don't understand why they did that, because already it just looks like a mess with Kevin Patullo. And the locker room, that there's nothing getting better right now. You got AJ Brown still saying that there's a meeting that never happened and whatever. It's like, it's just like different stories and whatever. And it's a mess right now. Can it get fixed? Yes. And there's a couple ways it can. If Kevin Patullo is not in his position that he is at, and you can get somebody like Hobo Joe in the streets, that could probably work. You know what? I probably trust Hobo Joe more than freaking Kevin Patullo, because right now this is just deflating. This is embarrassing. And we honestly, if we can't beat them in Philly, like, that would be sad, devastating. So yeah, I'm pretty devastated about it. I mean, not as devastated I am about the Phils, but they need to wake up. The Eagles need to wake up as well. Everyone needs to wake up.
Yeah. It's been a long couple of days for all Philly sports. Like you said, when you go into Philadelphia and the teams are losing like that, the whole city is down on themselves. But yeah, back to the
it's like a funeral. That's what it
feels
is.
like. Yeah.
Like I heard your good buddy Gilly say once, he's like, dude, when our teams lose, he's like, it's like someone died. It's like a relative died. It's like a funeral. Like you just like, don't talk to us. Don't do this. Don't do that. And you could just kind of see like in the way that people act too. And it's not like they act nasty. It's just like we care about our teams more than I think any other city really does. So I think right now, the week that we've seen, it's been deflating for sure. And you can just feel the energies just off.
Yeah. And like you were saying too about Kevin Patullo being in and out, like they should have known with the Brian Johnson hire, like you said, like that should have been like, okay, at least let us I don't even know that they interviewed any other people. And if they did, I think it was a very limited number of candidates.
I don't think they did.
Which I remember the year that we got Brian Johnson, a lot of people were talking about the Eagles potentially getting Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Who I thought was a great offensive. Like that would have been a steal. And I think the Eagles just sometimes go with their heart rather than their head. And that's good and bad, right? Like sometimes it's good. Brandon Graham, Jason Kelsey. You give your heart to those guys and they give you back their heart, and it's an investment. You know what I mean? Like those guys are generational Eagle for life on and off the field ballers. But then sometimes you give too much of your heart to a player or a situation like that. And that's another example where it doesn't work out, like Brian Johnson, like Kevin Patullo. You trust in somebody within the organization, you think you're doing right by them, and it ends up backfiring on you. So hopefully they can get it together. If you guys are watching any of these games today, be sure to stop down to Balboa Steaks, the king of Delaware steaks. You guys can get an awesome cheesesteak with the best in Delaware. I would go get the Balboa personally. Cooper Sharp steak, maybe a little bit of ketchup and mayonnaise on it if I'm feeling frisky. But honestly, it's the best cheesesteak in Delaware, and you guys got to go try it for yourself. If you're really feeling frisky, go get some Nick's Pizza to pair with it. You'll have the best of both worlds. Best pizza in Delaware and best cheesesteak in Delaware, all for your spread on this football Sunday. Yeah. But yeah, the Eagles definitely got to get it together. If you guys want to let us know how you're feeling, call into the show. Number's 302-316-4848. Would love to hear from you guys and really just vent. I mean, I want to hear how Philadelphia fans are feeling, whether you're from Delaware, whether you're from PA, Jersey, wherever. Call in, because it is definitely just like a looming feeling on the shoulders today. You know, like KJ said, the weather sucks. Maybe turn on a sad song, go to Wawa like Chase U, our boy, get a coffee.
That's what I did.
And, just let the feelings flow. That was kind of what I did yesterday. I went to Wawa, and the reason I say Chase U is Chase U's the guy who I think is the king of when Wawa has the blueberry cobbler coffee. That's his thing. And that's like my favorite coffee because of him. He's turned me on to that coffee. And I went yesterday to Wawa, and I'm like looking around, and I'm like, man, I could really use a blueberry cobbler coffee and a wallow in my own sorrows right now. Like with this like Philly sports tragedy that's going on, have the Wawa to complement it. Life is good. You know what I mean? Not for the teams, but as far as fall vibes goes, all I need is an apple cider donut, and then your boy Dutchie's really in heaven. But going through it, got to get it together. And an interesting week ahead, too, against the Vikings. I know we're going to have Vibhab, the Vikes fan, call into the show this week as our special guest, one of my good friends who I used to have Up for Debate podcast with. He's the biggest Vikings fan I know. And he texted me and he said, Dalt, I got to come on the show this week. I got to be your Vikings fan. I said, this floor is yours, man. So it's going to be a good game, I think. You got Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, that storyline. I mean, do you think that the Eagles will bounce back this week, Mac?
I think so. I think their backs are against the wall right now. I think they know the vibe of the city right now. And I know we just got my boy Jacoby in the comments. You just missed it, Jacoby. We were just talking about your Giants, and I was giving some flowers to Cam Scannaboo. So I definitely was, and Jackson Dart, how they came out and they silenced a lot of the doubters out there. So kudos to them, man. I mean, they went out and they balled out for rookies. I mean, that was impressive. But yeah, I think the Eagles do need to bounce back. I mean, this is going to be obviously a game in Minnesota. It's an away game. That's 2 back-to-back away games. And I think right now they're so like they have a sour taste in their mouth, obviously, from getting punched in the mouth from the New York Giants. So I think they definitely are going to go out there against the Vikings. They're a pretty decent team. I think today they're playing it. No, they're not. They're not playing in UK. They just played in UK. But they obviously, I mean, with Carson coming back, I'm not coming back, but us going to Carson, that's going to be interesting for him. Let's see what kind of mindset he has for sure. But I mean, it definitely is going to be very weird to hear him. Like, I'll tell you one thing, like when I was watching him a couple weeks ago, like in London, like it was really weird just hearing him be like hiking the ball and everything like that, hearing his old, like, sit up, and just hearing everything like he used to do. And it was just super weird. I'll tell you that. It was very weird. But I mean, like I used to hear it when he was with the Commanders too. So, but it'll always be like a weird kind of feeling. But they could definitely bounce back. They need to honestly try and change some things up. I think they really tried one thing that they they did okay with. If you look back at the stats, Jalen had a pretty good game except for that interception. He had 283 yards passing. And the week before, he had 280 yards passing. So that's 2 back-to-back weeks that he had 280 yards passing, which is good. But think about that. It's showing that the people who are keep on saying that he can't throw, that he can't do this, he can't do that. He just kind of showed you 2 weeks in a row that he can. So if they need to go back to the run and really try and get Saquon going again, which it does seem like Saquon is kind of injured right now, kind of losing a step. He's at the age right now where he's 29 years old. It's where you usually hear that running backs kind of start to decrease down. They kind of start to deflate. I don't know if that's going to be the case for Saquon. I still believe in the guy. I'm still a Saquon believer. But I think they definitely need to go back to what made them so dominant last year, and that was when they gave the ball to Saquon. So if you can really do that, that'd be great. But I think right now, though, the problem is the offensive line does not look so great. And it almost looked like the Giants' offensive line switched with the Eagles' offensive line. And it really sucks because you got Landon Dickerson out. And it kind of seems like we maybe should have signed back Mekhi Becton. I feel like we're missing a big guy like Mekhi Becton who really was able to kind of come out of nowhere and just help the offensive line stay in put and everything like that. So definitely missing that. But I think the Eagles, they can definitely bounce back from this game. If they can, honestly, I think we can win more games when Jalen has less yards passing, which sounds crazy. But you know what, though? For us to win games, if we need to pass the ball less, then so be it. I think go for it then. That's fine. If we got to get the Jalen slander where people are like, oh, he can't throw, whatever like that, I don't care. I just want to win football games. That's what I want to do. I want to win games. I want to see this team be victorious. And right now, they're not looking like it with these 2 straight losses, and they need to get out of their heads.
Yeah, they do. They're their own worst enemy, like you said, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know Nick Sirianni's probably having a couple aneurysms. I know Big Dom's probably having a couple aneurysms, and I know every single fan in South Philadelphia is probably having a couple aneurysms. But they'll bounce back, and I'm excited. I am excited for this game. If you guys aren't doing anything on Sunday, shout out to the Moose. If you're watching the show, Moose, call in. But Moose is the first one to RSVP to our watch party we are having in Newark, Delaware at Founding Brothers, the Nashville bar of Delaware. You guys got to come check it out. So we'll be hanging out there. We will be watching the game in all of our green. I hope to see you come down in your green, and it'll be a great time. But it's going to be a fun game, too. Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, Vikings, Isaiah Rodgers. He's now a Viking. He's having a great season. I think he's one of the best corners in the league so far.
Oh, gosh, I hate hearing that.
Yeah, he is. Can
we try and trade back? Can we try and get him back?
I don't think the Vikings are going to give him up, man,
No,
the way he's been playing. But
they won't, unfortunately.
It's just an interesting storyline for the Vikings and Carson with Justin Jefferson and that muff pick. And now Carson's greatest weapon is Justin Jefferson, and he has him at his disposal. He's going against his former team who not just cut him and then won a Super Bowl. They literally beat him in said Super Bowl. Like, he was a member of the Chiefs last year. He wasn't a member of the Chiefs on Super Bowl 57. You know what I mean? So he doesn't have that different perspective. Like, this is a real test for Carson Wentz, I'll say, mentally and physically. But the Eagles are down on themselves. So for Carson, it's kind of like there's not a better time to try and take advantage of the birds. Like they say, don't kick a man when he's down, right? Well, the Eagles are definitely down right now. And if Carson wanted to, he could take that opportunity to kind of, kick the Eagles while they're down and give them 3 straight losses if they play down and the Vikings play up. But I do feel like, with that being said, you guys got to keep in mind, Jalen Hurts doesn't want to lose this game either. Like, this game means just as much to Jalen Hurts, I think, as it does to Carson Wentz. So it'll be interesting to see how that all goes. Got Jacob Kaplan in here saying, how about them Giants? Man, oh man, you guys can go ahead and wallow in it. Enjoy it, embrace it, because your team fucking sucks, and they've sucked since the boat picture. So congratulations on your regular season trophy for beating a big boy football team for once in your life. But hey, man, wallow in it, enjoy it, celebrate it. I'll go ahead and take it on the chin like a man because, like KJ said, Cam Scatterboo is the real deal. Will he have CTE by week 11? Yes. He probably already does.
Crazy guy, man. It's insane the amount
clip of him like this before the game. Did you
Isn't
see
it-
that? He's
Yes,
smashing his head on a concrete building.
I saw that, and that was insane. That reminded me of, I feel like there was a movie or like a TV show of like someone just bumping their head on like concrete or something like that. Oh, wait, you know what? No, that was in the Longest Yard. If you remember in that movie, the remake in 2006, when they had that one guy who was the offensive lineman, and he was in like the solitary confinement in the prison, and he was like the tallest offensive line on the team, but like he was butting his head, and you see his head, and like you see Crew's like Paul Crew's right there. He's like, you're bleeding. And then you just see him growl like an animal. And that's what that reminded me of. Like, it's just like that craziness, like no regards for like any kind of like head injuries or anything like that. So that is crazy. And shout out to Scatterboo. He did go up. He did go off.
Yeah, that shit was, I mean, when I saw Scatterboo do that shit, I was like, ooh, I kind of want the Eagles to draft him. And then once I saw the Giants got him, I'm like, shit. You know, like we got to play against that guy now twice a year. I did not expect him and Jackson Dart to completely revamp the Giants franchise that quickly. And it's all mental. Like, that's the thing. It is all mental.
Yeah.
There is nothing crazy about them athletically. It's that Cam Scatterboo knows that he is going to have CTE, and he's willing to take it for the team. Jackson Dart reminds a lot of people and myself of Jalen Hurts. Like, he just has a will to win. He figures it out. And when you couple those two players together, and I hate to say it like this, but not to mention the fact that they're both white boys and they both have swagger, like they are pretty much the Giants' exciting whites. They are. They're pretty much the Giants' exciting whites. They're two young white athletes that are literally like fun to be around, fun to watch.
Yeah.
And like, they're just goofy. They're freaking goofballs. And I think the Giants honestly have a special core with that halfback QB duo for years to come. Like, props to the Giants, man, because usually they muff on draft picks. And I guess Cam Scatterboo was such a hard draft pick to F up that they knew they needed to take him. And I think the Dart pick, they just kind of hit the lottery on. Like, I didn't expect Dart to be that good. And I think he's got a real will to win.
Yeah. And I mean, that was one thing when we were doing our draft show. Remember we had Mikey D on, and we were saying to him how we thought that, like, in general, though, like when the draft was over, we were like, okay, who won the draft? We were like, oh, it's the Giants. It's the Giants. They got freaking Abdul Carter, and then you get Jackson Dart. We weren't kind of putting Cam Scatterboo in that category with those guys because we didn't think Cam Scatterboo would be that dynamic. But I do remember thinking to myself, kind of reminds me of more of like a stockier kind of Christian McCaffrey a little bit, but kind of with that fullback mentality. So, but I mean, that could definitely be something for them. And they definitely won the draft. They definitely did. I know there's a lot of, there's that viral video of another Philly sports TikToker named Rossi, who was kind of saying that she thought that they should have got Shador. And I know that a lot of people have been clowning her and everything like that and making videos of her, like stuff like that. But Jackson Dart just kind of like was able to really kind of silence not only her, but I mean, like a bunch of people who were like thinking that like, oh, you should have got Shador Sanders. You should have got whoever before you thought of getting Jackson Dart. So, I mean, it definitely was a head-scratching move when they traded for him and they moved up and they got 2 first-round picks. But it's working out for them. It definitely is.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's been a real franchise revamp.
Yeah.
Mentally, and physically, like we said. So good for it. And spiritually, like the Giants just have a new swagger to them. I can't even lie.
Yeah. And it kind of blends with the city as well. I mean, if you kind of saw like the way Scadaboo acts, like he acts definitely like a New Yorker. So like I think it definitely like the city just already is embracing him, and he definitely is fitting in pretty well. So same with Dark too, I think. So I think they definitely as I've said many times before, I really hate and despise the Dallas Cowboys more than anything in the world. With the New York Giants, I don't really have that much hate. They might hate us, and I don't blame them for hating us. We took Saquon from them, so they have every right to hate us. They have every right to be like, you know what? That's who I hate the most. I hate the Eagles more than the Cowboys. I'm fine with Giants fans saying that. For me, though, personally, I don't hate the Giants. Like I just don't. I never really did that much. When it came down to it, I hated Tom Brady so much. I still didn't forgive him for beating us in the Super Bowl in Jacksonville when the Eagles played the Patriots in the first one. And I wanted the Giants to win both Super Bowls against the Patriots because I hated Brady and Belichick and all those guys so much at that moment. Kind of like how people hate the Chiefs right now and Mahomes and everything like that. It was kind of like that. So that's honestly what it was back then for us growing up. I mean, I think Dalton can probably vouch as well, like us growing up pretty much like the Patriots were really like what the Chiefs are now for people. They definitely are. Like that's what it is. So I think but as I said before, I don't have much hate for the Giants. But if I had to pick a second team to hate, I'd probably say the Giants, but I really don't. But yeah, it
I
does
think that's
suck.
a good answer.
Yeah, it does suck they lost though, but they can bounce back. And I think it is funny that a lot of Giants fans are saying like, "Oh, well, we're going to go down to Philly and we're going to invade the stadium, and it's going to be the new era, the new Dart and Scadaboo era. Like we're gonna beat Philly and get our revenge." So we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to go the same way at home. I don't think it will. I think even with Kevin Patullo, with his bonehead decisions and his bonehead playbook, I think we could still be able to win back at home. If you can't, then yeah, dude, like your days are numbered, and there's no way you're making it out of that stadium alive. There's just no way.
I agree. Yeah. But that's pretty much all we got for you guys today. Not going to, beat a dead horse with the Phillies anymore.
Yeah.
Season's over. There's nothing else.
I think the horse is already beaten right now. The Phillies horse is beaten, and it has been it's been buried already.
Yeah, so season's over, as PSG Philly sports guy says. Season's over.
The season's over.
That sums it up perfectly because the season is over. We will see what direction the Phillies decide to go in this offseason. Will Kyle Schwarber be back? Will he be a Cincinnati Red? Will he go to a different direction? And also, will the Eagles bounce back this week? Come find out with us at Founding Brothers a week from today, Sunday, October 19th, around maybe noon. We'll be setting up. I'll be there. I believe KJ will be there. I think Jack will be there too. So I'm really excited for it. And we're going to be doing a live post-game show for the first time ever from a restaurant. So come out for that. Come watch. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're really just excited to see what we can do with this. So if you guys would be able to come out and support, it would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to KJ. It'd mean a lot to everybody from 302.
We might have some raffles too, so stay tuned for that. So we'll see what happens. I might donate some raffles, and we'll see what happens.
You guys got McCoy Vintage coming out and donating some of his stuff, so stay tuned. But
yeah, might do that. So we'll see.
That's all we got for you guys. Moose, I do see we have a missed call from you at 12:05 a.m. on Friday night, so I'm going to have to figure out what that was about. But if you guys want to call into the show for real, 302-316-4848, feel free to call in whenever we're live. Moose, a lot of love for you, man. Thank you for supporting the podcast. If you guys don't, go follow the Moose 317. That's a good man right there. Love him and what he does, and he's freaking hilarious too. Like ever since that Chesapeake in game, when we watched it with him, we've been bonded, and that guy cracks us up. So Moose will be there. I'll be there. KJ will be there. My dad will be there, I believe. And I believe Jack will be there. So if those 5 people alone don't convince you enough to come watch an Eagles game and get rowdy, I don't know what else could.
I'm going to try and convince Papa McCoy and my brother. So I'm going to try and see what I can do. And try and convince some other people as well. So I'm going to see what I can pull up my sleeve. So we'll see what happens.
I'm excited for it. Well, thank you guys for what you do. KJ, thank you for being here. Everybody that watched the show today, thank you guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. All those little things really help a ton. And I hope everybody has a great and safe rest of their weekend.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Phillies sports talk morning show.